Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Hey, D. Sorry for the sudden invite. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. This is Stormer from Stormer Mia Plays, and today we're going to be doing the Elder Scrolls Online new Prologue chapter for 2025, A Guild in Crisis. Now, if I remember correctly, there's supposed to be a way to pick up the quest in the overworld. Let's go see if we can do that instead of, well, is it Mournhold, or is it probably Devin's Watch?
Hey Storm, can you hear me?
Hey D, thanks for joining. Sorry for the sudden invite.
Hey, you said you'd start inviting me when you started streaming these days.
I did, yes. It's good to be back in Tambriel as Reewish the mighty battle lizard. It's been too long since we last visited the battle lizard. Also, where is my lizard mount? That's not my lizard mount. The Serpent Hines, that's not a lizard. Here we go. Lizard-esque, anyways. Alright, so that's the Mages Guild. Where's the Fighters Guild? Ah, never mind. I can just pick up the quest from him right here in the overworld. Okay.
Master Merrick, where are you?
Prince Azal. We haven't seen him since the Alakir Desert.
Friend, your timely arrival gives me hope that the sands of disaster can finally be turned. The Fighters Guild is under assault. 4 guild halls have already fallen, and now Guild Master Merrick has disappeared. We need to find him before all is lost.
Who's attacking the Fighters Guild?
So far, distinctive clues elude us, and no one has claimed credit for the attacks. At this rate, they could destroy the guild before we learn anything. It's the biggest crisis since the plane meld, but without Merrick, I'm not sure how to proceed.
You said Guildmaster Merrick has disappeared?
Yes, Merrick was supposed to meet me here, but he never arrived. While most of the guild secures the remaining guild halls, I could use some outside help to track down our guild master. Then together we can stop these attacks. Can I hire you, Wayfarer?
I'm in. Let's find Merrick and stop the attacks in the guild hall.
I've received
Hey, Joe.
conflicting reports
Hello.
from trusted
Hey, ho.
guild scouts. Merrick
Sorry for
has
the late
supposedly
response.
been sighted
My
in
PS4 was
Molotov
off.
in northern
You're fine. I wasn't
Desert
exactly sure when we were going to do
this
this today, so
Obviously,
I just got
he
back
could
from
be
getting a
everywhere.
haircut and decided to get it done.
Choose
So
a location to investigate and meet the scout there.
I need to make breakfast.
yeah, I had
Oh.
breakfast on the way back from my haircut. I'm ready to go look for Guildmaster Merrick.
Merrick is many things, but mage is not one of them. I trust the scouts, but he could not be in 3 distant places at the same time. I need you to make your best guess. Pick a location and see if you can find our missing guild master.
Okay, so this is a new thing they've added in going forward with quests and stuff. Player response options give you a choice on how to roleplay your character in specific situations. They lead to alternate replies associated with the character's choices. Sometimes the alternate paths in the story. These options are identified by icons and will always be accompanied by a standard player response, or accompanied by a standard player response. Player response options include kind, a supportive, compassionate response; grim, a harsh, surly, or tough response; merciful, a forgiving and charitable response; ruthless, a vengeful and vindictive response; joker, a quip, ironic, or comedic response to an NPC; or flirty, an amorous response towards an NPC. So, I think we know which ones I'll probably be using the most often because I'm not a mean person. So we actually have our first 2 right now. We have one kind and one grim option. So we could say
Okay.
the standard one, which is, where did the report say Merrick was spotted again? Or, it's obvious that you're worried about Merrick. I'll do whatever I can to help you find him. Or, if you care so much about Merrick, why aren't you out there trying to find him yourself? We're going to go with the middle option.
I appreciate that. With Merrick missing, I need to coordinate the defense of the guild halls, analyze scouting reports, and try to learn more about our attackers. Just know the compensation we offer is fair and equitable. Your aid will be rewarded.
Now, when I did this on my personal character, I went to Alakir Desert, so we're going to go to East March for this playthrough.
What is going on with Twitch? It comes up with this ad. Oh, here we go. It had this ad for Turbo, but it was when you went to try and scroll down to like hit like theater mode, it got in the way. When you moved it up, it hopped it down, and it was like juggling.
And faithful mount. She can get you to the location quickly. I'll send word to the guild scout. They'll meet you and help you search for Merrick. Then they can get word back to me while I follow up with the other reports. Good luck.
All right. Women, let's ride. I'm coughing up so much gunk today. Hey, it's our old buddy Scordo. You remember Scordo, right, Joe?
That little
No.
Princess Al never mentioned he was sending you to meet me. How the tusk have you been, pal? And no,
He makes a lot of Tusk jokes now. He didn't do that before. You're the scout that sent the report to Princess Al about spotting Guildmaster Merrick?
Guild Scout, Bruiser, and General Pain in the arse. At least that's what Merrick calls me. While most of the guilds settled in to defend the remaining guild halls, I volunteered to stay in the field.
So, what's the situation here?
I was looking into the attacks on the Fighters Guild when word reached me that the little prince had lost our guildmaster. When I heard rumors that someone who matched Merrick's description was in the area, I sent my report and started to investigate.
And what have you found out?
Trappers warming themselves in a Windhelm tavern claimed to see someone who looked like Merrick out this way. Said he was intense, like a man on a mission. I got this far and decided to wait for you. The trail leads east, so that's where we're going. Nothing wrong with that. It's healthy even. I met a healer once who said that bottling up your emotions gives you worms. Or was it dark humors? Yeah, it doesn't matter. I hit him when he tried to put a swamp jelly on my head.
Do anything interesting since the last time we ran into each other?
Oh, you know, a little of this, a bit of that. Mostly been working with the Fighters Guild. Merrick's a good leader, and there's always something to fight. It's in the name, after all. But these attacks, someone's definitely out to destroy the guild.
Last time we saw Scordo, he was in a competition where they were hunting orcs and other species for sport, and we had to rescue him from it. Jeez, that was like 6 years ago.
Now I'm imagining green packed wood elves involved in that, and one of them just shouting, "Looks like ham's back on the menu, boys!"
See what those papers are all about.
You know, because the pig children, etc.
Yep. Wood elves are required to eat the corpses of the slain.
What else?
Yeah. Green pact wood elves are required to eat the corpses of their slain within 3 days of killing the enemy.
And referring to orcs as pigs and the like is a derogatory. That exists.
Yeah. He's been calling the little orc children pig elves.
Hammers.
Hammers, sorry, little hammers.
I don't. Basically, he's calling them pig elves. Oh
He
he
plays a lot of games. He's a real gamer.
He wants to be a professional gamer. Professional gamer. Shit.
Prince, what happened here? But neither of you looks much like a prince to me.
Fighters Guild Warrior, you mean Guildmaster Merrick? Tell us what happened here.
Revenge happened. We misjudged the Guildmaster's skill and his anger. He let me live when I renounced the Order of the Black Worm. What you call the Worm Cult made me swear to tell Princess Ah everything I know.
Princess Zal sent me in his place. Tell me what you know.
I don't think so. Not quite yet. My pain is great. Get me something to ease my suffering. Then I'll share what I know.
I apologize, but you're a cultist, and I have a rule: no cultist.
You bastard! The pain is too great.
I declared.
Cult, you die.
I did. I declared that during Arsenium. I'm like, you know what? No more cultists.
And we'll both get what we want.
I'm done discussing this. Talk now. Squirtle here will make your suffering worse.
All right, you bastards. I'm done with all this anyway. No promise of powers worth dying for.
1 second.
The Order of the Black Wolves return to take vengeance on the Fighters Guild, the Mages Guild, and all of Tamriel. I told him that our leader, Mazama, had business with Magister Andrello at the Cold Moon Inn in Windhelm, but he left before I could tell him the rest. We have a new weapon. I don't know any details, but Mazama called it a Soul Reaper.
A Soul Reaper? Oh no, are they going to use Boghai on us?
This little worm claims he's renounced his evil ways. Guess I won't gut him like I planned. No Merrick yet, but feels like we're getting closer. Go over what we just learned.
The Worm Cult has returned to take vengeance on the Fighters Guild and Mages Guilds and all of Tamriel.
The damn worm cult is really back. I thought they scattered after we stopped the plane meld. And you'd hear about a few remnants, but nothing significant. Not like this. And he said they had a new weapon. What the tusk is a Soul Reaper anyway?
The cultists and their leader had business with the Magister Argello at the Cold Moon Inn.
That's in Windhelm, the stone building, right by the southern stables. How about you find this Magister? Find out what business she has with Mazama, and if she's seen Merrick. I'll collect Weemy and wait for you outside the inn.
Alright, I'll meet you outside after I talk to the Magister.
I never expected the enemy to be the worm cult.
No problem, Jim.
Thought they were finished after we stopped the plane meld. Obviously, Merrick has a plan to crush them. Let's get to Windhelm and the Cold Moon Inn and see what this Magister can tell us.
Didn't we destroy the Worm Cult?
I thought so, pal. They were leaderless after you and the companions beat that evil bastard Manamarco. When our little trip
The
to
Worm
Pearl
Cult, like
Harbor
Manamarco's
stopped
cult?
Prologue
Yep.
plane meld, the Worm Cult
I mean,
should've died.
Storm, you know that cult persists
I
even
know.
after the events of Daggerfall.
I know, but our characters thought they thoroughly crushed the Worm Cult when we beat Minimarco. So, because they haven't showed back up in years. It's been literally like 10 years since they showed up. And now they're back, so... So how are they still around?
I guess we forced them underground, but didn't squish them hard enough. Let's catch up with Merrick so we can do just that.
Yeah, it's worth noting that Mini Marco is very likely still in Cold Harbor being punished at the moment.
This worm.
He has
Well, see, here's the problem with punishing an immortal soul.
Yeah, he'll get out eventually. Like, he's going to get out eventually.
If punishing an immortal soul, you are actually inviting them to eventually break free.
Yeah. The problem is there's no way to kill an immortal soul.
Especially the way the Daedra run Oblivion. You know,
Yeah.
where it's not exactly an inescapable prison.
Unfortunately, there's no situation where we can completely eliminate Mini Marco, because that would ruin the continuity of the Elder Scrolls universe.
Or rather, it would just create yet another version of Manamarco in which he was destroyed, but that doesn't matter to the versions of him that weren't.
Yeah. Well, remember, he hasn't created the Necromancer's Moon yet, so he's not actually become his full-powered self at this point in time either. So whether or not that would happen it remains to be seen. But like I said, he hasn't completely ascended into being the new Moon yet.
Yeah, but ESO is just a dragon break away from canonizing every outcome of the game.
Yeah. Can I point out that there's a clan called Cold Moon, and they're not in Skyrim, and I'm really upset about it? Or if they are in Skyrim, I don't think I've met them.
It's not like Skyrim has a monopoly on being cold.
Yeah, but their name is Cold Moon. It's so cool.
You're not the usual serving wench. Where's the tonic I requested? I need something to settle my nerves. Oh,
So where are
what
they?
else can befall me today?
The serving wench?
One more interruption and I'll never make it to Shoreham on time.
Cold Moon.
I assume they died out, or they left Skyrim at some point.
Okay, you just said they're not in Skyrim. Where are they?
I don't know. They're not in the game Skyrim, so I don't know what happened to them between ESO and Skyrim.
Okay, but are they in Skyrim and ESO?
Yes.
Well, why didn't you say that? You said they're not in Skyrim, and
I
I was
meant
like,
they're not
okay,
in
where are they?
Skyrim, the game.
Oh, god damn it.
Dorm, we've
Yeah.
talked about this. Context.
Well, usually when people
Since
say
you're-
Skyrim, they're
since you're
referring to the
playing-
game.
You're
You're
playing
playing
ESO, and you just discussed how you were starting in Eastmarch. Of course I was going to assume you meant Skyrim, the location. You're
Yeah,
literally in
you're
it.
playing ESO, and you're in Skyrim.
Did you have
Come on,
business
Storm.
recently with someone named Mazima?
I have no idea who that might be. One moment I was about to board a coach to Shornhelm when a strange woman...
How in the world were you planning to go all the way from here to Shornhill?
Next, I was waking up here, feeling awful and very much put out.
Actually, that's an excellent question. How the hell were you planning to go from Eastmarch to Shornhill? You'd have to cross Cyrodiil, which is literally a war zone right now. What about American Fighters Guild?
you steal a horse from Rorikstead, and then you're halfway to Hammerfell by now.
Ha
Even as my apprentice,
Watch out for arrows.
nonsense about seeing me board the coach to Shornhelm
Gah!
while he was carrying me here.
He didn't watch out for ours.
Ran off,
Nope.
chasing after the coach, I presume.
You're not going to kill me, Imperials.
Apprentice, arrange an approach. We must be
Oh god, that was great.
He should have serpentined.
Damn serving wench. A mage of my standing can't miss the meeting at the Mages Guild Hall. It would be unseemly.
That was glorious.
I said that.
So I hit an alarm clock in a Lego
She stepped
Harry
into
Potter,
the shadows and blocked my
and it
path as
brings
I
out a
walked
hammer and just smacks the person sleeping on the bed.
as she stared.
Of course it does.
After that, I awoke
Jesus
from here.
Christ, what the hell?
If she
It's a
was
Lego game. What were you expecting?
She must be a powerful mage indeed.
For it to do its damage. What was that?
I blew my nose. I thought I muted it, but apparently it didn't mute.
Oh, you did not.
Huh? Yeah. I thought I muted, but I didn't. Ugh. I've got so much drainage today.
Did you find the Magister, pal?
I guess you're not allowed to go in the inns, Gordo. They're worried about you drinking the place dry, I guess.
I think I demonstrated a lot of restraint, waiting out here and not.
Yeah,
going
yeah,
inside
exactly.
for an hour or two. Any luck finding Magister Andrello?
Yeah, she met a strange woman and woke up inside even as her apprentice watched her leave town.
That's a strange story. And the woman, it could have been Mazama. Did the Magister say anything about Guildmaster Merrick?
She told Merrick that someone who looked like her took the coach to Shornhelm. He went after it.
Wait, Merrick's notes mentioned that the enemy was interested in Rivenspire. Shornhelm's in Rivenspire. What could the Worm Cult be after in that part of the world?
The Magister let slip that the Mages Guild is having some sort of meeting there. Yeah, I mentioned yesterday I'd be doing this more.
Told us the Worm Cult wants revenge on the Mages Guild as well as the Fighters Guild.
Remember,
This is
Mars
bad.
wasn't in
Let's get to
the
Shornhelm Mages Guild and try to
wasn't
catch up
in
with
the
Merrick.
game at the
That's-
time. She left early.
That's fair, yeah. So this is the new prologue quest for ESO. I wanted to knock it out, and I didn't know when I would get to it, so I figured I'd just go ahead and do it today. So, right, I'll meet you in Shornhill.
If you need quick transport to Shornhelm's Mages Guild, take Weemy. I'm sure Princess Ah won't mind. And even if he did, he's not here to stop you. I'll send word to the little prince and meet you there. It's about time I punched something.
You know, Scordo, stealing a horse is a capital offense where I live, right? Like, I'm not even joking. Like, if you steal a horse in
What
Kentucky,
about-
you are in serious trouble.
Well, it's a good thing they're not in Kentucky then, huh?
No, they're in Skyrim, where, you know, the slightest charge gets you executed, apparently. Because remember what happens to the horse thief in Skyrim? The game?
Technically,
He
that
didn't.
was just an unfortunate result of being arrested by the same Imperial troop that was
Had Ulfric Stormcloak.
That was marching Ulfric Stormcloak to his death.
They really should have executed him first thing. That's why it's illegal to have ice cream. Yeah, exactly. That's one of my favorite weird facts about Kentucky. Someone's like, "What's a weird fact about Kentucky?" It's illegal to have ice cream in your back pocket because of horse thieves. Why do you think Guildmaster Merrick is dealing with this on his own?
What? Do I look like a mind reader to you? If I had to guess, he got word of this latest plot, and he's been following it non-stop. No time to call for help when the Worm Cult apparently has a new weapon and plans to take revenge against the guilds.
And now the Guildmaster is heading to the Shornhill Mages Guild.
And we need to go help him. Sure, Merrick got the drop on a small camp of Worm Cultists, but they've already destroyed 4 of our guild halls. He's a great fighter, but whatever they have planned for Shornhill might be too much even for him.
All right. I forgot to do something earlier. Let me do this. This is kind of a tradition when it comes to the Prologue quest. I'm going to summon the new cake for 2025. Wherever it's at. Here it is. So this is our new cake. It actually has a one of the Soul Reaper weapons right on top of the device, or the cake. And you can see various hints toward what's happening in the new chapter for the new zone for 2025. I'm hoping that the game will decide to make this the thumbnail, like in the previous Prologue quest, but I'm not going to hold my breath that it happens. But this is what I would like to be the thumbnail if it happens. Kind of tradition at this point.
Stendarr, keep me safe. And my coins in my purse.
Apparently, there's a quest I didn't do here in Shornhill. I have no idea why I never did that, but whatever.
I appreciate the Fighters Guild coming to our aid, Princess.
It's Gabrielle!
Comrade, Scordo. I came as soon as I received your message.
Gabriel! Azar! The Worm Cult is going to attack the Mages Guild!
They're already here. Merrick arrived before you and the Prince. He ran down to help.
The attack's begun and Merrick ran down there? Damn! Tell Gabrielle what we learned, but be quick about it!
It's good to see you, friend. But we have a situation. Somehow assailants infiltrated a private meeting beneath the guild hall and caught some of our most influential mages unawares. Merrick arrived and raced to help, but... Did Scordo say Worm Cult?
So what you're saying is somehow Palpatine returned, but it's the Worm Cult. Yes, the Order of the Black Worm is back and seeking revenge against the fighters and mages guilds.
How can that... We eradicated them, didn't we? A threat of this magnitude must be crushed swiftly. The mages and Merrick can use our help. Can I count on you to join the fight?
I'm here to help in any way I can.
Thank you. Any amount of assistance is much appreciated. The door to the underground chambers is right over there. Be careful.
Alright, you demonic chicken. Hey, are you ready for another battle? Walk, walk, walk.
That's how you play levels. Good to know.
Let's look for Guildmaster Merrick, but be ready to take down any cultist you see. Just like at our guild halls, no obvious sign of forced entry, yet clear signs of battle.
Oh, yeah, I'm using my new, my new spammable. And boy, does it kill quick.
Another Red Guard from the Fighters Guild. He headed toward the meeting chambers.
Yeah, Reewish has gotten a lot stronger. He's about to get a lot stronger again.
I can't believe the Worm Cult has returned.
People know what lies beneath them.
fuck with this lizard.
The Argonian will not be disrespected again. If he wants to, he could become Stealth Lizard with invisibility. I'm not kidding, this is something that could really happen. Merrick, no!
Guildmaster Merrick, the worm cult has him. Let my mentor go, foul creature!
Wait, Merrick, what are you doing?
Merrick, no!
Arresting someone for horny crimes.
Except he just...
Merrick!
Yeah, he's it's not looking good for Merrick right now. Wait, Merrick's dead? Merrick can't die. Let me see the script.
Stand up, please. Merrick can't be dead. He just can't.
Oh, it says right here, Merrick dies. Huh.
By the gods, Merrick!
Cowabummer.
Merrick's dead. By the swords of my forefathers, I will make the worm cult pay.
I came as quick as I... Oh no. Merrick. The Magisters. What happened?
Merrick destroyed the worm cult device. It exploded and killed him. Comrade, please. Search the area and gather Guildmaster Merrick's weapons. Merrick would polish that shield for hours. It was almost a ritual for him.
To the faithful of the Order who still linger in the shadows, our time rises once more. Events unfold far from here that shall resurrect the glorious Order of the Black Worm. Its power shall grow 100-fold in the days that follow. We must come together now. Gather all still loyal to our cause and purpose. Join us in the worm nest on the northern coast of Rivenspire. You can enter the lair through the cove south of the lighthouse. We will take our well-deserved revenge on the Fighters Guild, the Mages Guild, and all of Tamriel for the Worm King!
You found something. Let me see. That was his father's sword. Merrick wielded it proudly.
I mean, technically they're right. It's just 1,000 years later.
I'll teleport the remains of that horrid device upstairs for study.
Remember, Mini Marco fought the Mages Guild several times, including the time when he captured and tortured Vanus Galarian to death.
What a loss.
I mean, he's the whole reason the Mages Guild exists.
Practically
Yeah.
a father to me since I
Vanus made it to oppose Mini
his,
Marco.
his banishment from the
Psijic Order.
The Isle of Artaeum and the Psijic Order is what caused the other guy to also leave the Psijic Order and to form the Mages Guild on Tamriel so that Metamarco wouldn't be unopposed.
Yep. Vanus always knew Mini Marco was kind of a bad egg, but he was hoping that it was just a phase he would come out of, because they were like brothers.
Yep.
One of the cultists must have dropped it. It's a summons for them to gather at a worm nest.
Let me see. A worm cult nest on Rivenspire's northern coast? Stendarr blesses us with another foolish enemy, quick to put their plans to paper. First, however, we must go to the Fighters Guild Hall in Shornhelm. Tell Skordo what befell.
They were supposed to have eaten it, but unfortunately they forgot to.
Use the nearby doors to leave. When you assault the worm nest, the Mages Guild will join you. You have my word.
As the guilds first defeated the worm cult, so shall we do so again. But that device, a Daedra named Mazama called it a Soul Reaper.
Soul Reaper, We'll study it and determine its exact purpose.
Gabrielle, can you help me take care of Guildmaster Merrick?
Of course, Princessa.
Oh, did you see my Jarlaxle joke I sent you yesterday, Joe? Or maybe it was the day before.
Most likely.
The one where it's like a new podcast, Jarlaxle Knows Best. Starring Jarlaxle. Written by Jarlaxle. Performed by Jarlaxle. Produced by Jarlaxle.
Prince Huzzah, the guild hall's on high alert. I was about to lead a contingent of fighters to the Mages Guild.
The battle's over, Scordo. Guildmaster Merrick is dead.
There's another chicken here.
What? Not Merrick? Hey, pal, tell me what happened.
See, this is what I'm going to miss in the Elder Scrolls 6. The pets. Like the non-combat pets, the summon pets. They're probably not going to be in the Elder Scrolls 6. I mean, maybe we'll have Conjuration again with, conjured allies, but they're going to be short-term only, unlike the bears, which were around permanently, pretty much.
That can't be right. What Prince Huzzah said. Merrick can't be dead.
Here.
Tell me this is some sort of bad joke, pal.
And then again, maybe we'll get an animal companion in the Elder Scrolls 6, like Dogmeat in Fallout 4. Maybe a camel that spits in your opponent's eyes and doubles as your mount. If we're in Hammerfell. It's true. Merrick saved the Mages Guild and destroyed the Soul Reaper. He died when it exploded.
Those Tuscan bastards! I came back here to rally the troops, but I should have gone down there with you. I could have saved Merrick, damn it. This is bad. What's the guild gonna do without its guildmaster? And at a time like this?
Scordo focus. Here's Merrick's sword and shield. Gabrielle took care of his body.
Oh, right, of course. Merrick loved these. They were family heirlooms. He was proud to wield them in service to the greater good. He was always spouting nonsense like that. All right. Tell me that you and the prince have a plan to make someone pay.
We learned there's a worm nest close by on the coast of northern Rivenspire.
Guildmaster Merrick is really dead, Scordo. I don't know how we're going to stop the worm cult without him. Scordo's correct. This is bad. How are we going to stop Mizama and the worm cult without Guildmaster Merrick to guide us?
We have to do something, Prince Huzzah.
I hear your words, but my mind is a storm of emotions. Merrick, my friend, my mentor, he died and I couldn't save him. I wasn't even at his side. I wasn't there to help him when he needed me the most. Stendarr, help me. I don't know what to do.
Yes, you do. Guildmaster Merrick taught you well, didn't he?
You're right, comrade. Guildmaster Merrick taught me very well indeed. As did my father, King Faharajad, and my many tutors and Sentinel. We may have lost Merrick, but we can still win this war. Thank you for making me see that.
Of course, Prince Huzzah.
Your words were like a strong wind in the desert, scattering the sand of despair that was smothering my soul. Before we take action, I want to commend you and reward you for your service, and ask that you stay to finish this with us. For Merrick.
Of course.
You helped me realize that the world doesn't stop just because someone we respected and cared about is no longer with us. Now that we know the enemy, the time has come to take the battle to the worm cult.
What's the plan, Prince Huzzah?
The note we discovered talked about a worm nest on the northern coast of Rivenspire. We must gather our forces, storm their lair, and deal with the worm cult leader, Mizama.
The note could have been left there as a trap.
Perhaps, but I don't think so. Everything happened quickly after Merrick destroyed the Soul Reaper and Mizama retreated. The job I hired you for ended when we found Merrick. But I'd like to extend your employment. Help us assault the worm cult nest.
I'll help you destroy the worm cult nest and defeat Mizama. Started Justice for the Fallen.
Would like to talk to you. He's right outside.
Oh, Vanus wants to talk to me. Okay.
The leader of the Mages Guild? His assistance could be crucial to destroying the worm nest.
Am I dressed to see Venice Galarian? I mean, my gear's in really bad shape. Hold on. We gotta fix that. I think I've got some crown repair. I got a couple crown repair kits left, yeah.
Welcome, Bonus. We're glad to be working alongside you and your guild again.
There's no time for niceties, Azar.
Also, I like Venice's new outfit.
A pleasure to see you again, friend, despite the dire circumstances. Thank you for purging our sanctum of the worm cult infestation. Reliable as ever, I see. Please, describe everything you experienced during the attack. Spare no detail.
It's almost like he's wearing a leather jacket, except it's not quite a leather jacket, but, you know, it's got that same aesthetic as a leather jacket would. But maybe he's going through a midlife crisis. The Daedra Mizama led the attack. She tried to cast a spell on Merrick, and it failed when he died.
Yes. Gabriel called Mizama snake-like. My extensive knowledge of Daedra tells me that she's likely a harvester, known for their illusion magic.
I could have told you that.
I suspect that's how she got into our sanctum undetected. Tell me, how did Merrick die?
That's another thing I want to see in the Elder Scrolls 6. I want to see the greater variety of Daedra that appeared in, like, Oblivion and in ESO. Like, I don't want to just see Dremora. Like, those were probably the only Daedra we saw besides the Atronachs, and they barely count in Skyrim because the Atronachs are non-sentient. So Merrick broke free of the spell and attacked the Soul Reaper, exploded and killed him.
Merrick was a great warrior, but also reckless. Attacking an unknown arcane device. Clearly a miscalculation. An intact Soul Reaper would have revealed more than the shards we recovered. Had he waited for you to intervene, he might still be alive.
I find this funny. I'm not going to select it, but this sounds like something that, like, Riordan would say, Joe. Merrick died to save your guild hall. Show a little compassion, you arrogant twit.
Why would Riordan say that?
I could hear him calling somebody an arrogant twit.
Well, yes,
Yeah, but he wouldn't give a shit about somebody dying for their guild hall. Or say, show some compassion.
Or, you know, just using it as an excuse to throw an insult.
He doesn't need an
excuse to throw an insult.
You know, I don't happen to see you down there when the Fighters Guild was saving your sanctum.
That's fair. I do appreciate the
I'm a drow. That is my excuse to throw an insult.
It's like, hold on, let me pull out my drow card.
Thank you for your recounting of what you saw. Now, where can we find...
Meanwhile, all the drow in Kalahay's like, we don't acknowledge your right to insult people just by being a drow.
Well, it's a good thing I don't recognize your authority. I'll accept my right to insult someone for just being a drow.
Like, we play hockey, so your excuse is irrelevant. Come on, the game they play is obviously hockey.
Where's the hockey team? They're asleep, sir. I think they've been poisoned.
On the northern coast of Rivenspire, it's a cove near the lighthouse.
I know that lighthouse well, and am aware of a cove to the south. Let me mark it on your map. We'll meet you there after I conclude my business with Prince Azar and Skordo. No guild can function without a guild master. Not even the Fighters Guild.
What have you been up to since the last time we met, Vanis?
What haven't I been up to? I am Tamriel's greatest living mage, after all.
And so humble, too.
I had just started to get inclinations that the worm cult might not be as finished as we thought when word reached me about the attacks on the guild halls. I am beyond annoyed.
Any thoughts about the Soul Reapers?
Just that I wish we had an intact one to study.
They should go back to their franchise?
Sites where the worm cult is engaging in hostile actions.
Apparently there's an achievement for destroying 30 of them across Tamriel. I don't even know where to start looking, though, is the problem. So.
You don't find Soul Reapers. Soul Reapers find you.
What other business do you have with Princess Anne Skordo?
Isn't it obvious? With Merrick dead, someone needs to take the reins of the Fighters Guild until their ponderously slow council can select a new guild master. Since they're in the thick of it, Skordo and Prince Azar are the most likely candidates.
And you can appoint one of them as the leader of the Fighters Guild?
Certainly not, and I wouldn't presume. But in this time of trouble, we need a stable and functioning Fighters Guild to stand against the Worm Cult. Prince Azar has leadership training and was taught by Guildmaster Merrick. He's the clear choice.
Alright.
The Fighters Guild requires leadership. I suggest Prince Azar take command until your council can select a new Guildmaster.
He's right, Azar. And you know the rest of the guild is more likely to follow you than they are me.
As much as I want to be there with you, I see the wisdom in Varnus's words. I'll stay behind to command the guild.
Right. Let us fast travel. And I got a cool new fast travel animation. This is the Mages Guild Recall, which is very fitting for Reewish, given that he is, the mighty battle lizard. Of course, the portal doesn't show up like it's supposed to, but that's fine. They'll probably fix that later. You know what irks me? This place has been one of my runs for resources for years. Just running through here and grabbing resources. Barely anybody comes down here, because there's only like 3 quests in this area. So it's fairly quiet. Now they've stuck a Prologue quest entry area right in the middle of my resource farming spots. There's been nothing in this little cave for just years and years, and now, right here, there's a hole.
The nest must be here somewhere. Ah, the nest entrance. Let's head inside.
Did you call the Fighters Guild? Yeah, I called the Fighters Guild. Where are they? In the hole. What's even down there? For all you know, that could be a portal to Oblivion or something.
I suggest we split our forces.
How far down does it go? Grabs mine.
Oh god, what was that thing? Hold Remora.
Hold Remora. Or it's an
Daedra?
or it's an Argonian pops its head out, whole lizard.
This just in, Black Marsh has counter-invaded the hole.
Again. Every time.
Yes, there's something here. I'll dispel the illusion.
Not only did Maker's Dingo fail to invade Black Marsh counter-invaded Oblivion, or the Deadlands. That will never not be my favorite piece of Elder Scrolls lore. Today we finished the relocation of our research operation, the abandoned ruins of Rivenspire. The Order of the Black Worm used this nest for years without drawing notice. It was only abandoned after the plane mill was interrupted. At Mazima's command, we reclaimed it to continue our development of the Soul Reaper device. Since in secret, this journal tracks our ongoing results. Some confuse soul magic with necromancy, but our work on the Soul Reapers proves they are indeed separate disciplines. Fortunately, the Order doesn't lack for practitioners in either field. Imbuing the structure with necrotic energies allows it to sense the proximity of the recently dead, which triggers the soul gems within to activate. Then the altar gems pull the soul towards the device. In the first iteration, the gems merely stored the fresh soul. This wasn't desired as it limited the amount of souls a Reaper could capture. Our current experiments seek to propel this captured soul to a specific location of our choosing. After many hours of studying and prolonged ritual preparations, and the valued deaths of many from our order, the Soul Reapers work as planned. Now, when a mortal dies near a Reaper, the Reaper captures the soul and sends it to a secure location. Our next step is to produce as many of these devices as possible so we can deploy them anywhere in Tamriel. Once the Soul Reaper senses a fresh kill, it automatically activates. Members of the Order only need to continue sacrificing and it will transport souls indefinitely. The Soul Reaper destroyed by the Fighters Guild leader beneath the Mages Guild revealed an interesting flaw in the current design. Now, just smashing a Soul Reaper before it has fully stabilized all of the necrotic energy flowing into it results in a devastating explosion, such as the one that killed the Fighters Guild leader. We discovered upon further examination that should an unenlightened enemy get near a Soul Reaper, they can disable it by tearing out its core. This causes the Soul Reaper to deactivate and release its magic safely, causing the device to collapse without the resulting explosion. Additional iterations should find ways to overcome this flaw.
A means to deactivate the Soul Reapers. But where do they funnel souls to? Let's keep searching.
I'll be honest, when they said the familiar character was going to show up, I was really hoping it would be Abner Tharn, but because we still haven't seen his body, which means he could still be alive out there somewhere.
I offer my great strength. Come, I shall augment your attacks. Let my magic empower you.
Well, dang. That was...
I offer my great strength.
How deep have these disgusting worms rooted? Look, past the gate.
I gotta remember Monday to ask Paul for June 18th so I can play the new chapter of ESO. Kind of tradition at this point.
Empower you.
The device siphoned their soul. Destroy that abomination.
Destroying the abomination.
The journal described.
Destroy the abomination.
Now
Death
that I
to the
witnessed
infidels.
the Soul Reaper firsthand, the scope of the danger becomes quite clear. This goes beyond the threat to the fighters and mages guilds. But what is the Worm Cult's ultimate goal?
You must have some notion about what the Worm Cult truly wants.
I have contended with the Worm Cult longer than anyone. Based on previous encounters, they usually seek something disastrous. The more information we learn down here, the better. I sense illusion magic nearby. Let's search this room for its source. The illusion is behind that altar, along the wall. What can we learn from this scroll?
They thought us dead, but what is death to the Order of the Black Worm, or to a Daedra such as I? It is no ending, no blockade, merely a temporary state during which we can hoard power. We all know the dead contain energies to be harnessed. The Order was no different. We gathered our strength and emerged from the ground, invigorated, hungry for revenge. We have worked in darkness and silence, gathered our resources and built new tools. Now our time has come to emerge from hiding, deploy the Soul Reapers, and siphon every soul from across Tabriel. We will reveal ourselves indeed. To restart our great and terrible work, to prove our loyalty to Lord Molag Bal so that we may gain his favor from our plans. Mizima.
A singular focus on the destruction of every living being. They must be stopped. Our search continues.
I doubt Molag Bal is actually recovered yet. Like, it hasn't been that long since he was sliced in half by an Adric sword.
I doubt that, Prologue Ball gives a damn.
Well, he probably doesn't, when he's in one piece instead of two.
Could blanket all of Tamriel.
The greater the Daedra, the longer it takes for them to reform in the chaotic inertia of Oblivion.
Let my magic empower you.
The Fighters Guild contingent, all dead. Let me take a look at that sword.
If you want
Not
to
Miri.
It's Scordo's blade, all right. I'd know his tough, stubborn aura anywhere, and the sword reeks of it. He wouldn't have parted with his weapon, not unless he had no choice. Our task now shifts from gathering information to rescuing Scordo the Knife.
How do we find Scordo?
By doing something reckless. We must split up. I suspect time is of the essence, and I won't see another member of the Fighters Guild fall this day. Take the eastern hallway, and be careful. Illusions abound in this place.
He says before immediately not heeding his own advice.
These worm cults are all like, death will not stop us, but I'm pretty sure they're going to be like, ah! when you kill them.
Yeah. I mean, they're being blasted with lightning and winds, so, I mean... Humans have a primal fear of lightning, so...
I told you not to eat Brussels sprouts before you started your job. But did you listen? No.
Look, Reewish needs wind power.
Well, he's got it.
And unfortunately, to the Chiefs doesn't give him wind.
Gordo, you're injured.
That's clearly not Scordo.
I'm over here. That's not me.
My master demands your presence.
Dragging Varnus into a portal.
The great mage does not fall easily.
How if I knew what I was supposed to do here?
Protect the staff.
Protect the stuff as he throws it and gets sucked into the portal.
Protect the staff, or suffer my curse.
The dragon killed the doggo!
What?
You bastard! You build a small dog out of Lego bricks, and it starts barking at the dragon and just smacks it and breaks in pieces.
I know Cedric made a dog to
if
distract the dragon.
creating life in Lego is as easy as ending it, you can just make another one.
Hey, just because Batman was able to put Robin's head back on doesn't mean it's going to work for everybody.
When did this happen?
First Batman Lego game.
Okay.
Killer Croc throws a manhole cover and decapitates Robin. And Batman just catches it and puts it back on his head and he's fine. Puts it back on his shoulders and he's fine.
Those are Lego figures, I mean.
And that's what I mean. Like, if you make a dog out of Lego bricks and it comes to life, just make another dog. Don't send this one to fight a dragon this time.
She used your appearance to trick us and capture Varnus.
Yeah.
Hey, I didn't make it fight the dragon the other time.
Did you hear what she said about the fighter's heart? But what do I know? I can't even keep my friends safe. It's all falling apart, pal. I don't think we're gonna beat the worms this time.
That doesn't sound like the Scordo the knife I know. You're not to blame. We can still win this.
Can't even let me have a moment, huh, pal? But yeah, I'm still better at punching people than anyone I know. Present company excluded.
I mean, I don't punch them, I blast them with lightning, but still.
Tusk out of here. Maybe Gabrielle can portal us.
Reewish, use Thunder Punch.
Make a plan.
Reewish!
How do you feel about a portal, Gabrielle?
Of course. One portal to Shornhelm's Mages Guild coming up.
About Varnus.
No apologies, Scordo. We'll get Varnus back. I'll take Varnus' staff. It may behave strangely in untrained hands.
Fair point, Gabriel.
That was for the good boy.
Tell me, what happened? Where's Varnus?
I'll let our friend fill you in. I need to think.
You know, Lego's like the only universe where decapitation is the only surefire way to survive. Because you stab them, they die. You shoot them, they die. You cut off their head, just put it back on.
They're like zombies.
What happened at that worm nest, comrade?
You could also cut their legs off and they'll be fine.
I know, but that's also not necessarily immediately fatal. Well, I was
I was just
unnecessary to the point.
I was just thinking of ways that you can, take apart a Lego person and put them back together harmlessly.
But what do they actually do?
So it's like, hey, getting bisected at the waist would usually be, pretty terrible.
The Reaper steals souls. The Colts have enough to cover Tamriel. As for Varnus, Mazima captured him.
Darth Maul turned out alright.
The leader of the Mages Guild and the greatest mage alive. You probably should have led with that, comrade. First Merrick, now Varnus. By Stendar's beard, what other disasters can befall us?
Mazima took Squirtle's form and said first the mage's head, next the fighter's heart as she left.
The mage's head obviously refers to Vaunus. As for the fighter's heart, she already killed Merrick. I'm just a
made of legs listening to you psychos.
Of this crisis. What could she?
You mean Legos, right, Morris?
She means to attack the Earthforge.
Merrick and I forged a weapon of the Earthforge once.
Merrick told me about that. You destroyed the Mortum Vivicus with the weapon, yes? So you know the power of the Earthforge. Misama can look like anyone, and she currently wears Squirtle's form. She can walk right in. We need to get there now.
I can open a portal to the Earthforge. Then Princess Ella and I have our own task to attend to.
We do. What can be more important than defending the Earthforge and stopping Misama?
Enough Reapers to cover all of Tamriel? We need to convince the alliances to join
gotcha.
Just like last time.
Good luck with that. It took Vaunus to get the alliance leaders to work together last time. Wait, you know where the Earthforge is?
The Antiquarian Circle knows many secrets, Scordo. Now go. You have your mission, and we have ours.
Right.
There's a bit of there's a bit of an inconsistency in the story here, and I don't know if they realized this when they made the mission. But they say that the alliance leaders worked together during the plane meld. That's not correct. The alliance leaders abandoned the Mages Guild and the Fighters Guild to deal with it themselves, and that's not really mentioned. It's like the alliance leaders are taking credit for something they didn't do.
Revisionist history starts now.
Yeah. Like, oh yeah, we all ganged up. Like, no you didn't. I specifically remember all of you stayed behind while we had to go to Oblivion.
Let's talk before we rush in.
We solved the plane meld crisis. We worked together. We did that. We contributed so much. Please ignore the
evidence to the contrary.
Yeah. I was going to cite the name of the like avatar of Sherazine? The Herazine?
Sherazine, yeah. I know what you're talking about, yeah.
Please ignore the Sherazine behind the curtain.
What do you mean, Scordo? Mazima and the worm culture to blame.
Sure, but I let myself get captured. Let Misama use her illusion magic on me. You saw how she pretended to be me to capture Vaunus. My guess is she's using the same trick here to infiltrate the Earthforge.
It seems likely, but there's still maybe time to save whoever's still alive deeper inside.
Yeah, optimism. I suppose we need that right about now. Princess A's gonna want an intact Fighters Guild to lead after Gabrielle and him convince the three alliances to join forces. That means it's up to us to save whoever's still alive here.
How do you want to proceed?
With extreme prejudice. Kill every worm cultist that crosses our path. Destroy those damn Soul Reapers. And then find Misama and send her back to whatever oblivion pit she crawled out of. Let's get moving.
All right. I've recaptured the waypoint. Send in troops to hold it.
More Soul Reapers! Destroy them!
There's somebody in the chat who'd like to have a conversation with one of my moderators.
1 second.
First time chatter, too.
Damn worms! It's an infestation! Let's just...
You'd be interested to see just how big the ban list is on our channels from where we had to ban all those bots.
We could always ban more bots.
Faster, pal! As long as Mazama's pretending to be me, my guildmates are dying!
I wanted to talk to him about his extended car warranty. Reminds me of in the Starfield, there's all the fake ship warranty people.
I don't remember these corridors being so dismal. There! That's me! I mean, not me! Mazama! Get her!
Gotta take care of the Soul Reapers first. I have a nasty surprise for you, friend. Gotcha.
Well done, friend. You made Mazama pay for Merrick and all the deaths she caused.
And it looks like the worms didn't get all my guildmates. That's something at least.
Good job taking down Mazama, but we're not safe yet. As Prince Azah and I were meeting with representatives of the three alliances, we received reports of Soul Reapers and Worm Cult attack squads appearing across Tamriel. It's bad out there.
So you convinced the three alliances to join together to combat the Worm Cult again?
Not exactly. Prince Azah and I were able to get the alliances to send ambassadors to Sturk, the same island where Ivanis forged the agreement to attack Cold Harbor. But we're far from reaching such an agreement again. Frankly, we could use your help.
What do we need? What do you need me to do?
Take my portal to Sturk and talk to your alliance's ambassador. Convince them that the Worm Cult threat is real, and we need to work together to stop it. Prince Azah and I will lean on the other two and do the same.
Alright, I'll talk to my alliance's ambassador on Stark.
I left the alliance
Strict.
ambassadors alone on Sturk with Prince Azah. Let's go
Stark.
try to
Sorry,
convince
apparently.
them.
We haven't been back here in years on this character. Something like 5 years, I think. Yeah, I think it was 2020 when we came here last time.
Did you explain the stakes? We need the three alliances to cooperate.
We got them to come to Sturk. That's a start.
Unfortunately, none of our old friends who were here before are here. No Lady Laurent, no Stibbons.
Ambassadors, please. You must listen.
Those attacks in Oradon. Prince Azar says it's the Worm Cult.
What does it matter? We can't fight wars in both Cyrodiil and our sovereign territory.
Princess Azar said Gabrielle was bringing the hero who uncovered this plot. Let's hear them out.
Gabrielle tells a compelling tale of necromancy and Daedric cults. But I am not yet convinced that the Pact is truly in danger. Why don't you elaborate on why I should believe that the worm cult has returned and is a significant threat to the land?
The worm cult has returned. They're launching attacks throughout Tamriel with Soul Reaper devices.
Are you certain it's a resurrected worm cult, and not just the work of an insignificant handful of fanatics who refuse to accept defeat?
Well, maybe they should start launching some attacks on some bitches.
Four Fighters Guild halls were destroyed, Merrick was killed, and Vanis Galarian has been captured.
That explains the obvious concern displayed by Prince Azar and Gabrielle. Perhaps this threat is more dire than I anticipated. I'll bring this information to my superiors right away.
I'm sure I speak for my fellow diplomats when I say we will pass on the information, but can make no promises.
Vanis' staff. It's reacting to you, friend. Reach out and see what happens.
Oh god, I gotta touch Vanis' staff.
Listen, everyone. My time is short. You must hear what I have to... I am very much relieved that my spell succeeded and reached you. And I see you've gathered the alliances. Good, good. Needless to say, the worm cult captured me. My spell won't last long, so listen closely to my instructions.
We're listening.
Mazama teleported me and locked me in a cell. Reminds me of Cold Harbor, but also it doesn't. A problem for later. Listen, the Soul Reapers are just the start. The worm cult has a hidden nest. It's amassing forces to launch a devastating attack.
A hidden nest? Where?
My guards mentioned an isolated island called Solstice. If I learn more, I'll contact you again. But you must convince the alliances. They must join with the guilds again to stop this threat. If not, the worm cult will bring death to all of Nirn.
If even the great Vanis Galarian is worried about this threat, we have to act. Now.
There's no time to waste, comrade. Come, let us speak.
Solstice. Never heard of it. But the words of Vanis Galarian give weight to your message. I will make sure the Pact provides its support.
Between your efforts and Vanis' message, the Alliance ambassadors finally seem willing to throw us their support. And from what Vanis told us, I suspect we'll need it. A rescue must wait. The threat hiding on Solstice is our first priority.
So what now, Prince Azal?
Just as the alliances, guilds, and heroes of Tamriel joined forces on Stirk to end the plane meld, we must do so again to stop the worm cult on Solstice. Your actions were instrumental in revealing this threat. I hope we can count on you again.
Alright. That's the end of the quest.
We need to work together if we're to have any hope of defeating the worm cult.
Agreed. We must report back to our superiors and rally our forces.
And what should we call this newfound camaraderie?
How about the Stirk Fellowship? This island has a habit of being part of these things.
It's true. Stirk is the island where the All Flags Navy gathered to fight the Slode. Also, this was where we launched our mission into Cold Harbor to fight Molag Bal in the base game. Alright, so what you get for completing this mission, first of all, you get the Mages Guild recall action, which you get for completing the first of the two quests. For the second of the quest, you get the 10-year anniversary mud crab. Let's preview that. This mud crab's a frisky little crustacean pal who's at home in the water or out of it, gilded and guessed up as a 10-year tribute. Also, if you have the code, you can also currently get to the 10-year anniversary monkey, Clever Tomica. This well-dressed monkey is lively and cheerful even in the grimace of dungeons, gilded and geiced up as a 10-year tribute. if you have the code, which is 2025 ESO Direct, you can currently redeem this code online until June, I believe, when the code ends. So, yep. So content is going to be a little bit different this year. We're just going to quickly go over this before we call it for now. Let me see if I can find the thing here. It may not. Oh no, it will show up. Okay. So basically now. Oh, never mind. The 10-year anniversary Mudcrab was part of this, not part of the quest, the content pass. I got a 10-year Lion Guard steed. I'm going to look at that. Yes, so if you pre-purchase today, you receive the 10-year Lion Guard steed, the 10-year anniversary Mudcrab, beachside bask, which I'll have to look at, a beachside drink, Tabaka trick, and wait, maybe just get recalls part of this? I thought it was part of the quest. So what do we get for doing the quest? I don't remember now. This is you can either do the standard or the premium. So, but the only difference between the standard and the premium, if you look, is you don't get the other chapters and the classes. Those all come with the premium edition. You already have all of this. You just want to grab the standard edition. There are no deluxe edition, and so you don't have to worry about getting access to things that aren't going to be coming. So when Season of the Worm Cult Part 1 comes out, which is June 18th, 2025, you can see it right up there, release date June 18th, 2025, we'll be joining this, we'll be joining Reewish again on the Sunday that follows that. Let me look and see when that is. The 22nd. So Sunday, June 22nd, no matter what we're doing, we're putting it on pause, and it's time for more of the Elder Scrolls Online. So at some point, I'll do the Fallen Banners dungeons. I don't know when I'll get around to that, unfortunately. There's also going to be a interesting little, it's a world event where everybody will be of one server and working towards a goal together. We don't have too many details on that yet. When I know more, I'll let you guys know, but I definitely intend to do at least one stream of doing some of the events and contributing towards unlocking the rewards for my server, the PlayStation server. So I've also already gone to my guild and volunteered to help with lead an event so our guild can participate in this. So let's look at these new. The first side of all, we have Beachside Bask, where we're enjoying the sun. And we just get down on our backs and lay in. I guess this is for like lying in the sand or the surf. Probably the sand would be safer than the surf, but yeah. Alright. And then we got Beachside Drink. Oh, we just recline on a couch with a drink. Okay. That's really cool, actually. I kind of like that. This is going to be my new idol animation. In fact, I will actually add that to my... Put that over Plant Yourself. And then there was another one, too, that we got. Oh, cool.
Oh, this is
That's like...
lovely. Oh. I've unlocked studs times 8.
God damn.
Oh, damn, yeah.
And convinced. And did I tell you about pick up ghost studs? So when you're trying to figure out where to go next, there's a ghost that helps you, and he drops these ghostly studs to just guide your way. There's another upgrade I got early on, which lets you pick those up, and they're each worth 1,000 studs.
So now they're worth 8,000.
Yeah. Now they're worth 8,000. And if I wanted to, I could just go back and forth, leaving an area and coming back until, this ghost keeps leading the way and dropping.
Neat.
I haven't actually had much need for money yet. I don't think I'm ever going to have that worry for the rest of the game.
All right. Well, guys, this is where we're going to end off for today. I hope you'll join me tomorrow for Mass Effect 3. We're going to be doing the Citadel DLC. It's going to be a lot of fun. And, of course, we'll be back Friday with more Destroy All Humans 2, Reprobed. Thank you very much, everyone. Have a great day. Goodbye.